This year brought us headlines about boards around the world, from Olympus in Japan to Facebook, Yahoo, and HP in Silicon Valley. We saw stories about active annual general meetings, executive compensation, the governance of newly public companies, diversity in the boardroom, and much more. The democratization of information is such that anyone has access to it and also has access to means of spreading it. One way we've seen this in 2012 is executive remuneration. AstraZeneca, Barclays Bank, and Shell are just some of the companies that have faced criticism in the past year, with Barclays CEO Bob Diamond ultimately giving up his £20 million bonus in the face of public pressure. Consumers are feeling a greater sense of connectedness. It shows itself in a variety of ways, from the Occupy movement to the intense interest in the Arab Spring, and then the so-called shareholder spring. There's a sense that we have a role to play in helping them achieve that, either through being outspoken or voting with our pocketbooks. The backlash against labor conditions at Apple manufacturers Foxconn shows people do actually care about where their goods are made, how they're made, and by whom they're made. Boards are going to find it harder to ignore connected consumers. Apple responded to the public anger over Foxconn by agreeing to a labor audit by the Fair Labor Association. It's the first tech company to do so. This year, Starbucks, Amazon, and Google have been hauled before a committee of MPs in the UK for accounting practices that seem to be legal but have struck people as unsavory. Just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should, and it's getting harder to get away with it anyway. Parliament accused these companies of an immoral use of the laws to avoid paying UK tax, and a crackdown is on the cards. This year, Facebook hired an executive search firm to look for a woman to add to its board of directors. That search ended with the appointment of Sheryl Sandberg, but it also highlighted the problems that so many boards with limited diversity face. It's not about diversity for diversity's sake. As business becomes ever more globalized, boards need to keep their finger on the pulse of new cultures and markets and technologies to make a profit. In Europe, the quota debate has moved on, with the EU voting to make it a law that 40% of company board members be women by 2020. When I spoke to European Commissioner Viviane Reding this year, she told me, "I don't like quotas, but I like what they do." And this is a discussion that is happening around the world. Exist in a truly global marketplace. As markets in African countries and China grow, companies are increasingly looking to sell their products in the same place they're manufacturing them. For many consumers, issues about labor rights and environmental impact will be close to home, literally. Many of the stories last year were negative, and here's hoping 2013 will bring some positive stories of bravery, integrity, and independence of thought and deed. I look forward to bringing them to you here on In the Boardroom with Lucy Marcus.